Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Glover.
And I'm Latrice Curry. Some Tennessee state lawmakers are pushing for legislation that would grant convicted felons a second chance at the right to vote.
Democratic State Senator Brenda Gilmore from Nashville is sponsoring Senate Bill 36, and if it's passed, it would allow convicted felons to reapply for their right to vote. District 28 State Representative Yusuf Hakeem from Chattanooga says he believes supporting it would keep felons from going back to jail.
Senator Gilmore, I've had an opportunity to talk with her briefly. She, as you said, she's going to sponsor that bill in the Senate, and she and I have talked about my sponsoring that bill with others in the House.
Felons reapplying would be required to pay all outstanding court fees, including child support and restitution. The bill still has a long way to go. So far, it's been filed for introduction in the state Senate. No other action has been taken.
Well, after nearly 2 years of planning, Hamilton County jail officials will work to address mental illnesses.
The commissioners of Hamilton County approved $125,000 in grant money to fund mental health support at the jail. Channel 3's Tim Pham spoke with one-on-one with the sheriff to see why he's tackling this issue.
Sheriff Jim Hammond estimates about 40% of Hamilton County inmates have mental health issues and do not belong in the jail. As of last night, more than 1,500 inmates stayed in the Hamilton County jail system. Close to half of them have some sort of mental illness.
As sheriff, I am constantly hearing from families who say, you know, I just don't know what to do with this loved one. They won't come in off the streets. They get abused, they get mistreated. They're on all kinds of meds.
Instead of getting the help they need, many end up behind bars. Sheriff Hammond says they are jailing people who should be in hospitals with trained specialists instead. To fix the problem, he looked into the Frequent User Systems Engagement Program, also known as FUSE.
We think this will go a long way once we get it fully up and running to provide some wraparound services to keep these individuals from coming into the jail.
Mental health specialists will provide support, help find long-term housing, and rehabilitate them. The goal is to get them the help they need and keep them from re-entering.
We're spending about $94,000 to $97,000 a day just to house prisoners. As you can imagine, if 40% of those were removed, that's a significant savings in taxpayer dollars.
County commissioners approved the sheriff's office to accept $125,000 in donations to fund the program and will match up to another $125,000. Hammond says without the funding, the jail will become a mental health hospital, which he says his staff is not certified to do.
My hope is that it will reduce it down to zero in the jail. In reality, if we could reduce even half that number, you could see the cost savings that would have when you reduce that number.
Nashville and Memphis use a similar mental health program. Both have seen a reduction in mental health inmates. In the studio, I'm Tim Pham, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And Sheriff Hammond says he hopes to start providing the mental health services, in his words, quote, very soon.